Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Sha O. In this video, I would love to share with you the idea of numbers and compatibility. In other words, soulmates reflected in numerical numbers, in numerical values. For example, if you were born on the first of a month, which would be your compatible soulmate or your compatible companion in this life? Now, this is going to be a rather controversial discussion because you see, no one has one formula for everybody. And even if you were born on the first of any month, it does not mean that when you go and search for the compatible soulmate with a compatible numerical value, it does not mean that it's going to be a marriage made in heaven. But whatever the case is, we are here on earth. We have to work together. There would be differences of opinion, there would be differences of emotions, cultural differences, status differences, oh God, psychological differences. So, whatever the case is, for today's sharing, take it with a pinch of salt. We will start off before I do the compatible chart with you. I just want to run down this with you in case it's your first time viewing my channel. Now, the numbers 1 to 9 correspond, right, in a very vibrational frequency, in energetic way with the 9 planets. Now, you may be wondering, why am I mentioning Sun and Moon as planet? They are in a pseudo-astrological kind of way, pseudo-scientific way. So in astrology, they are deemed as one of the 9 illuminaries or luminaries because they provide light, you see. So number 1 resonates with the sun. Right? Number 2 resonates with the moon. Number 3 resonates with the planet Jupiter. Number 4 resonates with the shadow planet Rahu. Shadow or imaginary planet because, in actual fact, it doesn't exist as a solid planet. It is there for astrological purposes, especially for Hindu or Indian or Vedic astrology. Now, number 5 corresponds with Mercury. Number 6 corresponds with Venus. Number 7 with another shadow planet called Ketu. And it's also, the same as number 4, Rahu. Rahu and Ketu are seen as shadow planets in the Indian astrological systems. Number 8, Saturn. We all know about Saturn. And finally, number 9, Mars. So these numbers will correspond with their respective planets. Now let's take a look at another interesting thing. In an earlier video, I talked about the basic or the main quality of each of these planetary bodies, the luminaries. Sun, what comes to our mind would be the quality of leadership. Moon, artistic. Jupiter, wisdom of a kind that is practical. 4, Rahu, the rebel. Now I'm going to bring him in the good light here. The rebel as in thinking out of the box. The odd scientist in that light. Very highly intelligent. A genius, but not conventional. Okay, I'm making it very clear here, the distinction. Because many people, when they think of Rahu, they think of something negative. Right? That too, but today we are going to look at things positive. Then we look at Mercury. Mercury is communication, good communicator. Venus, we talk of balance, harmony, love in its very sensuous way. I'm taking it in a good light. And then Ketu, things mystical, very creative and also quite otherworldly at times. And then Saturn, order, discipline, structure. In other words, a person that you get married to who is born under the 8th will be very hardworking but very meticulous and can be quite fussy. And that person will go for discipline, order, and right things that has to be done. Things must be ethical. That is your 8th vibration. Then the 9, Mars, the warrior planet, universal vibration, service to humanity, and if possible, to the universe. Family comes in second very often. Having given you this, let me go straight to the first. Right, I'm going to just clip it in case it starts to slide. All right, let's take a look at the first. Let me just shift this a little bit. Okay, much better. Right. Okay. Now, S1 will represent the sun. S is for the planet sun, and 1 is the vibration 1. Okay, so similarly, when you get M is the moon, and then the vibration is 2. Number 3, Jupiter, J, and the vibration is 3. Okay, now, if you were born on the 1st of any month, and that also includes the 19, the 10, right, and the 28th, right? So in other words, if you have all these numbers and they can be reduced to the number 1, then you are considered the number 1 quality or number 1 personality. Now, if you are an S1, the Sun 1 or number 1 quality, the two compatible number vibrations for you would be 4 and 8. Why? Let me explain very quickly. 4 is stability, foundation, order, industriousness, also meticulous. And 8, materialism. In other words, if 4 is hardworking and foundation like, setting the foundation, working hard to build up the business, 8 is one in which the business has already become a phenomenal success when everyone knows about you. So number 4 is quiet. Number 8 is glamorous in the sense that it loves to broadcast its achievements. So number 8, you can think of someone like Donald Trump. He is all loud and we all know what he has achieved and blah blah blah. You see, now number 8 has a bit of that quality. Now, to be fair to those who are born on the number 8, 8 is also very very meticulous, and 8, likes is a perfectionist. So that can be quite a problem with other numbers. But number 1 enjoys that. Number 1 appreciates the number 4 vibration for being so dependable, and for the number 8 vibration for bringing a bit of fame, glam, and yet stability and structure in its life. Because remember, number 1 is a pioneer. Number 1 will not go into the nitty-gritty of life. It charts huge strides into what it wants. It needs the number 4 to do all the nitty-gritty work. So imagine if you are in love with someone to the vibration of 4 and to the vibration of 8, then there is that sense of compatibility. In other words, you give some, they give some, and then you create a certain harmony and match in that relationship. So that is 1, 4, and 8. Let us go to the second number, which is number 2. And of course, the moon is its planetary vibration or guru. Number 2 resonates well with number 4 and with number 7. So let's say if you were born in any month, if you were born under the number 2, which can also be what? 11? That's right. It can also be 11, right? So, and also can be, there are 3 numbers, right? So you can be number 2, it can be number 11, and it can also be, I've forgotten. I'll think about it and come back in a short while. Now, so number 2, the vibration of 2 resonates with 4 and with 7. Now, 4, I've told you, 4 is very down to earth, very foundational, very, hardworking, and puts itself to its work and wants to make sure it completes it. Now, 7 is highly creative and more flexible. But 7 can also be highly spiritual and a little bit otherworldly, in a mystical vein, so to speak. Now, the number 2 vibration loves number 4 for giving it stability, because 2 can be very emotional. Number 2 can love number 7 because number 7 brings a bit of fun and creativity, spice of life to number 2. And 7 is a great blessing for number 2 because when number 2 gravitates towards 7, 7 is very spiritual, psychic, philosophical, So 7 can give number 2 a bit of that help to contain its ever-flowing emotions. Number 4 tends to just ignore that. Number 7 would have some kind of an interaction with number 2, such that number 2 will mellow down. So it's all in all, it's a very harmonious vibration. Then we go to the third one, Jupiter and the number 3. Now the number 3 vibration, Jupiter, in many of my videos, I've told you that it's a very vibrant, very intellectual, very vibrant, very extroverted, very colorful persona. So it will definitely gravitate with another 3. All right, so 3 will gravitate with 3 because together they will have fun and they will share ideas. They can spend the whole night discussing on ideas and things like that and going out to a party and, so they live a very, very, sort of a high lifestyle. And they can also gravitate to number 9. Number 3 and number 9, they are very compatible because 9 is very universal. But 9 is not so colorful as number 3. Now, 9 loves number 3 for her or his intelligence. And number 3 loves number 9 because of the networking. Can you see how these numbers can actually translate to something so practical and mundane as our day-to-day lives? So a number 9 has a very good networking. If you are a 9 and you're a businessman, you will have a networking, you will have contacts within your country, without your country, outside your country, and even as far away as Timbuktu, I suppose. And 9 is passionate. And 3 loves entertainment. So all they cook up fire and whatever when they're together. However, 9's passion can be a little bit controlling. So 9, when it gets too passionate, it can be a little bit controlling. And 3 is a free spirit. So there's a little bit of that thing there that they have to work out. Otherwise, this is a glamorous, fun, extroverted, colorful, very high decibel relationship. There we have it all. Now let's move on to the next one. Let's go to, clip it. All right. Let's go to number 4. Now, number 4, number 4 is Ketu. Rahu. I'm sorry. Number 4 is Rahu for the shadow planet. And 4, the number vibration of 4, would love to synergize with a 1 and with an 8. Notice both the 1 and 8, they are leader-like qualities. 8 is extreme materialism. It loves to achieve. It could be a property dealer. He could be in one of these, Wall Street kind of executive, and it's a good businessman. 8 lives for the money. 8 lives for the luxury and the comfort. But 8 is also very down to earth. And there are times when 8 can be so extreme, it can just leave everything and move in the other direction. 8 is possible. Remember, I said this about 4 before. It can work very hard, and then all of a sudden, it just makes a turnaround, a turnabout. And then you say, hey, what happened to you? And the 4 doesn't really have an explanation. He just shrugs his shoulder and said, okay, that's me. Now, 8 is like that. Now, 1 is glam in the sense that it is a pioneer, it's a leader, it's an innovator. It is very high decibel, it's up on the stage. And 8, very well known for all its achievements and its contacts as well. Business world, finance world, property market. 8 is like that. Money, getting rich quickly, that kind of thing. So 4 would prefer 1 and 8 because 4 likes to focus on a certain aspect in his life or her life. And when it is married, he or she is married to a 1 or 8, he or she will be in the background as usual, but they will provide support to 1 and 8. And 1 and 8 knows that, there is no competition with number 4. In other words, when they are married together, when they are partners, or even when they are business partners, 8 and 1 knows that they will always be in the limelight. That 4 will always be behind, but giving them all the R&D and the support. So the 4 vibration is actually It is a vibration to be valued. If you have a firm or if you are a business person and you want to employ your employees, you should get one or two number fours, because they will be there to make sure the work is done, and they're very dependable, almost to the point of being boring. But they are very sweet people and they are very honest people. All right, they can sense you out if you are fake. All right, so 1 and 8 glam, and with 4 works as the shadow, works as a supporter, and it's a lovely kind of a relationship. Now we come to number 5. Now I put ME because I don't want it to look like the moon, M, so I put ME as in Mercury. Now number 5 is communication, number 5 is travel, number 5 is all the latest electronic gadgetry for contact and communication. And in the future, 5 will also be part of the vibration of AI, artificial intelligence, because 5, remember, is communication. And when we go out to space to conquer or to live as colonies on other planets in the very far or near future, then the contact and the communication will also have the vibration of 5. Now, 5 and 5, they are fantastic. They are like, you know what? They are like two libraries interfacing, sharing all the data and the information. They would have cups of coffee and they'll be chatting and sharing and quarreling over ideas, and your idea is better than mine or mine is better than yours. They just go on and on and on, because they are so mental in a good way. 5 loves traveling. So, of course, when it travels, it wants to bring along someone who is fun. It will not bring along 4, because 4 will sit in the plane and do his accounting work. 5 would go with 5. Hey, they talk about, hey, where to get the cheaper deal. Hey, have you flown on this flight, that flight? And they go on, like, having their own travel vlog kind of thing. And 5 loves 9. Because 5 is communication and 5 sees 9 as the, stepping stone to communicating with the whole planet or the universe. And 9, I told you before, remember? 9 has much or many networks in his life. If he's a businessman, even more so. 9 should never get a desk job. That would be totally committing suicide. So 9 and 5, they have a wonderful relationship. However, the relationship between 5 and 9 would be quite businesslike. Even when they love each other, they would you would sense that kind of a business-like love, where they are, they're not so intimate as you would see with the other numbers, but they work perfectly fine. Let's go to Venus, 6. Now, this, of course, we all know Venus. When you talk of Venus, you talk of harmony, you talk of family, you talk of service, you talk of luxury, you talk of comfort, you talk of, love, sensuality, beauty, magnetism, charisma. Well, you name it, the list goes on. 6 and 9. Interesting combination. Why? Number 9 has no time to look into the mirror to put on makeup. Number 9 has a lot of energy to reach out and touch somebody's hand, make it a better place if you can. That is 9. Reach out, reach out. And 6 would be the 9's showpiece. Beautiful? You like the idea? I didn't invent this. Now, 9 and 6. Let's say 9 is a very successful businessman. Tomorrow he's going to South Africa. Then he'll bring along his lovely wife, a number 6. Oh, she'll be all beautifully decked out. And when he goes and meets all his clients and what have you, they have little dinner parties, get together, cocktail drinks in the bar, what have you. Then his wife, number 6, would be a beautiful Leo, because everybody wants to know you because you got such a beautiful magnetic wife. So 9 and 6 is beauty, business, universal sensuality, everything in a beautiful package. And six, it's so graceful. You bring six to a dinner party with some top fellas in your corporation, your CEO and what have you. Even if you are lower down the rung, if you have a beautiful wife like number six, speaks beautifully with a certain accent, dresses, if she can, of course, branded stuff. If not, just beautiful. They would feel so flattered. And then you would get whatever you want because of her. So 9 and 6 is a beautiful combination. Actually, to me, it's a romantic combination, right? And remember, 9 is very passionate. Yeah, and 6 encourages that. All right. Now, because 6 is very magnetic. Let's go to 7. 7 is Ketu, the shadow planet or the imaginary planet. And Ketu, I've told you two important things come to mind: mysticism, mystical, and creativity, right? The arts, Hollywood, writing, painters, things like that. Now, 7, of course, the great masters, the spiritual ascetics, and the great leaders who expound the truths that come down from different dimensional realities. Now, 7 goes well with 2 because 7 and 2, Ketu and the moon vibration, they are compatible because, they've got that same lunar mystical aura about them, right? So they can gel. And like I told you before, 2 is emotional, and 2 with 7 is lovely. 7 will teach 2 in a very soft, quiet way to tone down. And 2 will give 7 a bit of grounding on earth, to earth, because 7 before it starts to float into other dimensions. 4, uh, well, yes, boring, but 4 and 7, beautiful business partners, I tell you. I was telling you about 6 and 9 earlier. That is only a showcase. 4 and 7, when they work together, 7 provides the creativity, the abstract ideas, and 4 translates that into the tangible, successful product. And they work very well together. There is not much love between 4 and 7, I must be honest with you. So if it is a marriage, it is a marriage of minds. So whenever I talk about, or anyone talks about the marriage of minds, the first thing that comes to my mind is actually 7 and 4. They can last forever because they are so controlled, you see, right? Unlike 2, which is so, emotional, and 5, wow, full of sparks and what have you, and 3, oh, entertainment galore, 7 and 4, they have a beautiful synergy. I think it's a quiet vibration. Now, there you have it. I have very quickly, I do apologize for speaking very fast, but guys and gals, I just want to share with you this. And remember, you are either a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, or a 9. Okay, so if you have compound numbers, let's say you were born on the 24th of any month, then you add 2 plus 4 and then you become a 6. Then you look into the 6 vibration and the compatibility. Whatever the case is, at the end of the day, my dear viewer and my dear subscribers and my dear friends, take everything that is part of life with a pinch of salt. Bye, see you then.